Hello my darlings, I hope you're all doing very well. I hope you are sitting comfortably, you are cozy and you have your snacks and your beverages at the ready. In today's video we'll be taking a look at this ever growing problem within the tattoo industry, and that is rage bait. In all fairness though, rage bait is definitely used throughout every type of community on social media, that's for sure. Those of you that don't know, rage bait is basically when a content creator will create a type of content, whether that be a video or a tweet or a meme, a photo, whatever, okay? And this content will be something silly or frustrating, controversial, or just downright racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic, xenophobic, all of the horrible things that, you know, people shouldn't be. And they do this on purpose to cause a stir online. These types of content creators will do their utmost best to enrage their regular viewers or those that are just passing by. And then obviously when people come across this type of rage bait, people will interact with this type of content, which means more engagement. And then some of the people that will watch this type of content will then share it to their friends and be like, look at this freaking idiot. And then they will share it to their friends. And it's basically engagement farming. Rage bait can sometimes be harmless fun. You have content creators that essentially started off their career by doing very silly and harmless rage bait. One person that comes to mind for me is this makeup content creator by the name of Meredith. I truly hadn't heard of her before until she blew up all over TikTok, and she was making this content where she would put her makeup on and she would put the most obscene amount of foundation on her face. And everyone was like, what the hell are you doing? You do not need to be putting this much foundation on. And obviously that caused a stir. More people were talking about it. More people were sharing it, interacting with it. And now she's like a pretty big deal within the makeup community. But at the end of the day, this kind of rage bait is pretty harmless. There was no one hurt in the making of it apart from her foundation collection. I also myself think I have unintentionally participated in very mild rage bait. One fine evening I was having a bath, as you do, and I had this Lush bath bomb, Black Rose to be precise, and while I was in the bath I noticed that the bath water ended up looking very inky, and I thought to myself, oh wow, okay, it kind of looks like my tattoos are leaking. And then I made a TikTok/Instagram reel about this, and I added the caption, when you have your annual bath and your tattoo ink leaks. And to me this was just a funny little video, and I thought the only people that would see it is my regular viewers, the ones that know that my sole goal in life is to put out nothing but factual tattoo information. So my regular viewers would know this and know that I am joking, right? But alas, that was not the case. The Instagram reel has now 1.9 million views and the TikTok has nearly 1 million views. And there have been multiple people falling for it or calling me out saying, no, you should not be, you know, in the bath when you have a fresh tattoo, or that's not normal, you need to go and see like a doctor or something. And I'm just like, oh my god, like how are people falling for this? This is obviously not true. This obviously does not happen. And the comments that made me laugh the most were people saying, I don't think that is ink. I think that is dirt because you only have one bath a year. And I obviously have more than one bath a year, okay? I have like one bath a week, so I've got to scrub off my fake tan, honey, okay? And then I obviously shower all the freaking time. But I kind of ended up falling into the category of a tattoo content creator that makes silly little fake videos. And I won't lie, it was kind of funny. I had a lot of fun messing with people that were falling for it. But it's also kind of heartbreaking that this video that took zero effort to do, I made it in the bath as a joke, got more engagement, more views than anything I have ever created that I have put a lot of time and effort into. And that might say more about me and my content creating skills than what's happening with social media right now. Who knows? But if I wasn't so sure of myself and I didn't love what I do, I can very much see how easy it is to fall down the trap of making content like this. You know, so many creators go down the path of baiting people for views and likes and shares and followers. And let's face it, most people post on social media to be noticed. You know, I don't put all of these hours into these videos for nothing. And of course, my intentions with content creating has always been to help people when it comes to tattoos. I obviously need people to watch me in order for me to help them. Does that make sense? Like, so how do tattoos fit into all of this rage bait nonsense? I've personally seen a huge increase with content creators, whether that be tattoo artists or tattoo clients, do fake face tattoos or just do fake tattoos in general, but they end up looking kind of real and a lot of people end up falling for it. If you watch my Tattoo Enthusiast Reacts to Tattoo TikTok series, then you may know what I'm on about. I feel like I get tagged in this type of content all the freaking time. It is something that is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and more people are participating in this trend. And of course, this type of content at the end of the day is kind of harmless. It's not hurting anyone. It's just been done 1,000 times before and it's getting a little bit boring. But that's my personal opinion. Loads and loads and millions of people still eat up this type of content and fall for it or enjoy it for whatever reason. There is one content creator that comes to mind that is very, very guilty of doing this type of content, and it is this content creator here. Their username has a slur in it because there is 2 ways of spelling the Romany slur according to Google, so I'm just going to say G. So this content creator G is a tattoo artist, and as you can probably see, very popular on TikTok. They have over 300,000 followers and their TikToks get so many views, and their most popular ones are the ones where she does these fake tattoos. You've got wrinkle tattoos, ab tattoos, piercing tattoos, double chin tattoo, sideburn tattoo, beard tattoo, a Adidas slipper tattoo, a freaking armpit hair tattoo, and there is many more. Okay, it's just never ending. And in my personal opinion, all of this type of content is just stupid. To me, and probably the majority of you, this type of content looks incredibly faked. But to those that have never been tattooed before, this type of content looks incredibly real. And again, this type of content is not problematic whatsoever. At the end of the day, I would call this very, very mild rage bait. So you may be thinking, okay, Lauren, we get the point. You don't like this type of content. What's the point of this video? Well, this type of content leads into people trying to one up each other. You now have tattoo artists trying to push boundaries to try and get noticed. It's a very dog-eat-dog world out there. I have recently made a video about the tattoo recession. There are a lot of tattoo artists struggling out there. There is a lot of tattoo artists out there trying to get their name in the world just so they can collect some new clients, which is completely understandable. I respect the hustle, but it's one thing to do a bunch of silly fake tattoos, but what about the artist that will stop at nothing to get engagement? I will now take it from 0 to 100 and present to you probably one of the worst rage bait tattoo artists I have ever come across. Now, of course, me highlighting this tattoo artist is doing exactly what this tattoo artist wants people to do. So I can only encourage you not to interact with this tattoo artist, to go find him, to go follow him, to go and, you know, leave him mean messages and comments, because that's exactly what he wants. I'm here to create awareness, to say, look at what the tattoo artist you are getting tattooed by or want to be tattooed by. Make sure you check their social media and make sure they're not participating in this type of content, because they're very sneaky, okay? And they kind of hide their core beliefs within their content very subtly. And if you don't notice it, you could fall into the trap of being tattooed by an arsehole. So this is Kasim. Kasim is a tattoo artist from Russia, and he has 154,000 followers on Instagram. He also has 1.1 million followers on TikTok. On his TikTok, he mainly posts his artwork. So from his social media following, it seems that Kasim is doing pretty well for himself. I will also say his artistic skills, whether that be, you know, regular art or tattoos, is pretty good, okay? He's a pretty good artist. So why does an artist with this much skill and this much success need to pull a stunt like this? In case you missed it, I will play it again. Now look at Kasim's finger. In bold letters under Kasim's glove, there is the N-word written in pretty bold writing. Kasim is very obviously not a black person, so he has absolutely no business writing such thing on his finger. It's so, I mean, first of all, it's so incredibly racist. Like, let's, you know, state the obvious. Another thing to me is the fact that the tattoo industry has a reputation of being pretty racist, okay? Black people are constantly excluded from the tattoo industry. The lack of representation of black people within the tattoo industry is freaking insane. And then you have this tattoo artist pulling this stunt. And yes, of course, this rage bait has very much worked, because here I am freaking pissed off at this disgusting human. And you want to know the kicker? He uploaded this reel twice. Okay, once wasn't enough, there's a second version of this. And there's also this Instagram reel as well. Like, what was the need of using those exact lyrics, the N-word repeated over and over again? And I'm sure some people may argue the fact that, you know, it's just part of a song, but why those exact lyrics, just that exact moment right there and then? You know, there's a huge difference of someone using a song that has the N-word in it in passing. You know, you scroll through TikTok and there's people, you know, dancing to songs that have the N-word in it. But the fact that Kasim basically put a lot of effort into that section right there with the N-word, and especially now that we've seen the content with the finger stunt, there was also a ton of other red flags throughout the reel that we just watched, but I don't want to take away from the blatant racism that is going on here. And I just have to ask, why? Does anyone have a logical reason behind behaving like this? Because this artist seemed to be doing pretty dang well for themselves, and obviously there is never ever an excuse to be racist, without a freaking doubt. But normally you would see this type of stunt done by someone that's struggling and just wants to, you know, cause a stir to get engagement and get their name out there, because fuck knows why, to be honest. But in this instance, I feel like Kasim is just racist. You know, I mean, no matter what the situation, you're racist if you pull this kind of stunt, obviously. But it's just like, why? I mean, I'm very grateful that Kasim has now, you know, showed his true colours. Like, thank you very much. Another point that I feel like I need to make is the fact that unlike the fake face tattoo content that we have already covered, which again is very mild in comparison to this type of content, with the fake tattoo content, it seems like a mutual consent thing between the tattoo artists and the client. But what about the type of content that Kasim is creating? Did the client have a say in this type of content being created? Was there any consent to this from the client? While the video of the N-word on Kasim's finger was an up close type of video, we don't know who the client is. We can't distinguish who the client is because it's very close up. There's just no way. So should there be any backlash towards the client? Well, we don't know who the client is. But what I fear for is clients that get dragged into this amount of hatred and racism without any consent. Because the way Kasim does his content is hidden. It's under a glove, okay? It's behind you. It's through editing. You know, rightfully so, being labelled a racist is career ending for many people in many different industries. And I believe that should be a thing, for sure, because being racist freaking sucks. You should not be racist in 2024 or ever. But the fact that Kasim is using his tattoo clients to be a part of his racism is disgusting, especially if the clients aren't consenting. And if they are, then match made in heaven, am I right? But yeah, the whole thing is just disgusting. It's vile. All of this type of content, of course, has not gone unnoticed, and many people are enraged by this type of content. And of course, this is exactly what Kasim wanted. He's got what he wanted, but you know, like, this is just the way rage bait works. It just drives you to comment on things to be like, what the hell are you doing? So here are some of the comments. There's one from Justine Lucy, who is an amazing tattoo artist. I've mentioned her a few times on my in my videos. She said, unfollowed, come on bro, why? Because that's the thing, there was a lot of people following this artist, like a lot of tattoo artists, because again, like he seemed to be like quite a respected tattoo artist because of his art style and all of that. And again, he's good at it. Doesn't mean he's a good person though. There's this one from Barbara. Again, this is another artist that I've spoke to a few times. She is lovely. She said, I know this is not an airport and I don't need to announce my departure, but I unfollowed so fast. Racism is not funny, which I highly agree. Fuck is that nonsense on your hand, man? Laughing my ass off. This is so embarrassing of you, which I agree. Like, this is just embarrassing. Like, how are you not embarrassed? Like, what is going on in your brain to make you think that this is a good idea? There are so many ways to get attention and you choose this one. You're talented, but your sense of humor is low. A bit embarrassing, bro. Wow, does he not like black people? Serious question. And that comment is probably one of the most heartbreaking comments I have read in my whole entire life. And then someone replied to that comment saying, anyone who openly uses the hard R is 100% automatically racist. And then the original commenter said, trust me, I know, but he on here commenting to other comments, I want to see if he will say it. Is that a real tattoo on your finger? And then Kasim replied saying, no, I don't have tattoos, my finger is clean. Like, he knows exactly what he is doing here. Disrespectful as hell. Why have that written on your finger? Unfollowed. Finding new and inventive ways to announce you're racist. I mean, yeah. And then this comment needs to be framed and put in some kind of art gallery and, you know, be protected for the rest of time. You're basically screaming at the top of your lungs that you're insecure, small-dicked white man with sociopathic tendencies and a superiority complex. Literally every single person of color is better than you and the whole world knows it. This whole thing is truly upsetting and enraging. I feel bad first and foremost for black people. They endure racism all day, every day, non-stop. They do not get a day off. And then they see this type of content, a white man using a word that is so incredibly harmful towards them, the most racist word that someone could use. And this white man has used it as a joke, as a way to farm engagement on social media. What the fuck? Just what the fuck? I also feel bad for tattoo artists who work their damn ass off day in, day out. They don't do anything problematic whatsoever. They are kind-hearted souls and they are inclusive. They want everyone to be tattooed. They will do their utmost best to make sure everyone is involved, and they don't have a racist mean bone in their body. And they are the ones that are struggling right now. There are so many awesome tattoo artists who wouldn't dream of doing this, who are scraping by right now and are really affected by the tattoo recession. Like, this type of thing just seems so unfair because Kasim will be completely fine after this. His career will not be affected in any way, shape or form. Mark my words, he'll be fine. It just seems to me that those that are problematic, whether it is racism, homophobia, transphobia, xenophobia, sexism, and all the other horrible things a person can be, it just seems these type of people are untouchable. They somehow succeed in life and they become incredibly successful and rich, and I know this applies across the board to every industry, but like, when did hard, honest work become something that doesn't equate successfulness anymore? Like, there's people all over the place doing controversial things and they're just like living a very comfy, cushy life. Like, I know it's always been like that for decades upon centuries, but it's just so freaking frustrating and heartbreaking, and it's always the minorities that end up being the butt of the joke as well. And I just, the whole thing makes me incredibly upset and angry. And again, I'm just here to make sure that you do your research when it comes to who you are being tattooed by. You know, have a quick comb through their social media to see if they're posting horrific videos like Kasim is. So that is the end of the video. I would love to know your thoughts and opinions on this whole subject. How do you feel about rage bait, especially coming from professionals like tattoo artists? And until my next video, I hope you all stay safe and well. And until then, bye.